you did a lot of things right. You know, your check-in was good. Her start to the track was calm. You know, when she got to the scent pad, you told her soup. That was fine. She started out good. She was a tiny bit faster and more hectic at the start of the track. She settled in as she went in. It was a slight change, which is fine. The good thing is it's going in the right direction. She's settling in the more she tracks.
Right.
She had a very clear corner behavior. It's easy to read this dog, and you can read her.
Right.
Yeah. So anyways, you know, she had a little deviation on the track, but it was more just the wind. And when there's a piece of food and that wind blows, it actually makes a little circle, and so that was part of it.
Right.
To me, your food drops were too predictable.
Okay.
I was kind of counting in my head.
See, I told you, it's awful and terrible.
Well, but some of them were good.
Right.
Sometimes you went
and I've tried to do like, which I've never done before. I've just been doing like one, and this time I was trying to do like 1, 2, 3, and especially since I was dropping several on those corners.
Yes. Yeah.
So anyway, in my unpredictability, I probably got predictable again.
You kind of did. And so to me, it's much less important to have a prescribed number of steps, other than when I'm starting with the puppy. Then I'm very, very specific. But at this stage, you know, honestly doesn't matter if the track is 200 paces or if it's 400 paces, as long as it's reasonable.
Right.
So it's better, rather than you trying to count, and then, I mean, because you can drive yourself crazy with that stuff. It's much more important that you focus on the field and say, okay, now I'm going to make this track 3 legs, and I'm going to put a corner one way, a corner the other way, I think, but let me see what I see in the field when I first look at it from the outside of the field. And then you kind of get a perspective. And then once you get out and going, then you sort of, you know, that can change a little bit. But if you just kind of have that perspective and think, okay, if I make this one like about 125, then I can get to that dark spot I see. And then my second leg might be shorter because I see something out there that looks like that might be a good turn marker.
Right.
And then I go whichever way I'm going. And when I get out there, I might see something there that looks more clear than something there, so I might actually do that. That's going to be better than you counting.
Right. Well, and there was a tall, the first turn, I pretty much knew where that was.
Yes, but you didn't know where the second one was.
The second one, there was a tall piece of grass that, see, what happened was my plan changed.
Yeah, okay. Well,
and that's why I was looking for it, because that's where I was first going to turn, and then I was like, that's too short. I need to go further.
Yeah.
And then when she turned, I was like, oh shit, there's that tall grass. I remember now.
Yeah, but she was very predictable.
Right.
Hey, and I got that shit on video.
What's nice about, depending on what judge, I have them both ways. Like Ann Dolan stood way back there and blew a whistle for you to turn. The last time we trialed, she said, go out. She said, go out 100 steps, turn, go another 100, and turn. Well, actually, she says, go out 100 or 80 because of the way the field was set up, because that big mud thing. She says, so go 80, then go 150, and then go 80 back. So you can kind of get out there and you can pick a spot. Okay, so if you're 80 steps and you got a really nice spot there, use that nice spot instead of, you know. So that's
for trialing. You may have to count steps if they don't tell you, but for training, you don't. So train smart. Now, at one point, she stepped out of the line in the rear, and so you wisely were not pulling. You know, you were trying to keep that line slack, I think.
Right.
And luckily, she had slowed down enough that it was easy for you to do that.
Right.
And then she stepped out of the front one. And then is when she felt this on her neck, because when she'd get off a little bit, she'd feel that.
Right.
It wasn't where it was supposed to be. So that's when she thought about, well, does she want me to do something different?
Right.
And she was about at the end of her ability to stay focused.
Right.
But then she got back to it without you saying anything, and she started tracking. Okay.
Well, and part of it was, I mean, I'm just saying, so I, you know, did my scent pad, and I put the flag off to the left, and that's what was, I think she could feel me going.
I think she could too.
Oh my God, because I was thinking, she's
I think
tracking to the right of where she's supposed to be, and she was on the track. Because then I remembered, I put that on. I mean, I was trying to make
when you got less sure because your line had come out, it goes right down the line. But anyway, so it was actually pretty good. And then she got back on it. And so if I were you, the two things I would change, the three things I would change. First of all, I wouldn't be so specific about counting steps. I would be more inclined to say, I'm going to make this shape a track and it's going to be about that long.
Right.
Secondly, your food drops were okay, but they tended to be, it looked to me, I was watching when she ate a piece of food, it looked to me to be anywhere between 15 and 25 steps, more like 20.
That's probably exactly right.
And then when you got to the first corner, you actually made a kind of a nice long, you did like maybe, I don't know, 25 to 30 without any food. And then on the corner, you baited the corner, so she got that. And then you baited like about 15 or 20 steps up. And it was pretty predictable. So keep in mind, sometimes you can go 20, but if you do it 20 this time, make a conscious effort. I mean, you can go like, a lot of times I will put down, like I'll do food drop, step, step, food drop, step, 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 food drop. And then the next time I might just have one piece of food. And then the next time I might have like 3 in a row. And then I might go a long ways and then put one. I mean, I'm like, I have to make myself be.
Is that to slow them down before you get to the corner?
No, it's
Okay.
just so the food is random.
Okay.
I don't ever bake corners.
Well, and
That's
then they
just-
don't know where they're going to keep their nose in the track more because they don't know where that food's going to be.
That's exactly
And that's
right.
like, I'll go, like she said, I'll go 15, 20, and then I might go the next time 3, 4 steps. And
Yeah.
this way because if
They
they
never
if they
know.
get that piece of food here and they think, well, I got another 20 steps to go, so I'm going to hurry up.
Yeah, I'm going to hurry
So
up.
that 3
Right.
makes them go,
Gotcha.
stay at the
Yeah.
steady
Well,
pace.
and I only baited the corner because she never did one.
No, that's okay.
Yeah.
There's nothing wrong with
No,
that.
you want to do that in the beginning.
Well, I still bait the corner to get them to,
Stop. You want them to
It's a
stop
choice.
and
It's a choice.
But
Hey,
I
you want
thought
them
the
to
article,
stop and check.
was better
Right.
than I didn't at least.
And that's
know.
why I
And
put
that's
the
one
article
thing I
there.
would change. I did not think the article was good, and
Okay.
that's because
Well, better than yesterday because yesterday I told her to lay down.
yes,
on
you
it.
did, but this
Yeah.
time you had to do this, and
Well,
so for me,
You would stop doing that.
I
and-
would
okay.
until she's got
Got
it
it.
off the track.
Okay.
What you can do at the end, you can make a big old pad and just go ahead and bait it, and then when she gets there, just come up to her and say, good girl. Because however you teach the article on the track, that's what you got.
Okay, gotcha.
That's what you got.
Well, and I